3, 2, 1, ready, start. For the ease of reference, section 23 is being reproduced hereinafter. Transfer of property to be void in certain circumstances, where any senior citizen who, after the commencement of this act, has by way of gift or otherwise, his property, subject to the condition that the transferee shall provide the basic amenities and basic physical needs to the transferor, and such transferee refuses or fails to provide such amenities and physical needs, the said transfer of property shall be deemed to have been made by fraud or coercion or under undue influence, and shall, at the option of the transferor, be declared void by the tribunal. Para. Where any senior citizen has a right to receive maintenance out of an estate, and such estate or part, thereof is transferred, the right to receive maintenance may be enforced against the transferee if the transferee has notice of the right, or if the transfer is gratuitous, but not against the transferee for consideration and without notice of right. Para. If any senior citizen is incapable of enforcing the rights under subsection (1) and (2) action may be taken on his behalf by any of the organization referred to in explanation to subsection (1) of section 5. On the plain reading of the aforesaid provision, it would indicate that to activate, the said section, certain conditions as mentioned therein must exist. There is another method to protect and create a safe environment for the senior citizen, so that they may not fall an easy prey for unscrupulous people who may or may not include the children, relatives or third persons, including caregivers, who may take advantage of the senior citizen, especially those who are residing on their own or may be dependent on such persons due to frailties accompanying their age. Para. This section 23 has noticed above presupposes 3 conditions before it can be pressed into service. The very fact that the 3 conditions exist, then the deeming provision presupposes that such transfer is occasioned by fraud, coercion and undue influence, making the transaction vulnerable for being declared void by the tribunal, at the behest of the transferor. As noticed above, the tribunal is constituted under section 7, which is manned by an officer not below the rank of the subdivisional officer of the state. Moreover, the tribunal has been conferred with the powers to declare an instrument as envisaged in section 23 as void. Stop. The word void implies, something being not valid and not binding since inception. Stop. Hence, in that limited context where a transferee who is given exclusive possession or a right in the property of the senior citizen, by virtue of a conditional instrument, as mentioned in section 23 of the Act of 2007, then the moment such an instrument is declared void by the tribunal, which takes effect from the date of the instrument, then, where necessary, the possession can be recognized to be with the transferor, that is, the senior citizen, from its inception, and the tribunal can hand over the possession by its order, which can be implemented through the authorities, utilizing the powers conferred on the district magistrate in terms of section 21, 22, read with rules 21 and 22. Stop. However, this does not necessarily mean to confer, either upon the maintenance tribunal or the appellate tribunal or the district magistrate, with powers to take on an adjudicatory role to deal with any intricate question relating to right, title or interest of party who may have set up a right, bona fide, which may be adverse to the senior citizens under the Act of 2007 and oblique or is engaging the attention of the regular courts or forum. Stop. Having considered the overall scheme of the Act and looking into section 23 as well as the pronouncement of the apex court in Urmila Dikshit (Supra) it would reveal that the powers exercised by maintenance tribunal oblique appellate tribunal, as the case may be, after declaring the instrument of transfer as void in terms of section 23 to pass necessary orders regarding possession in favor of the senior citizen, including eviction of an undesirable person from the property of the senior citizen, is consequential. Stop. This consequential order of possession, or removal of any individual person from the property of the senior citizen is more in the nature of restitution than a power of eviction, as understood in traditional sense and is generally associated with rent and tenancy laws. Stop. Generally, eviction orders are passed by the competent courts or authorities in terms of some statute or statutory rules, and after ascertaining the rights of the parties and upon finding a party to be in breach of some provisions which entitles the other party to seek eviction of such a defaulting party. Stop. The word restitution in its plain meaning means restoring anything unjustly taken from another stop. It has its roots in the Latin maxim restitutio